What's up, guys? It's Benny. We are the man who knew too much. We've asked all the right questions, and now we're pissing off all of the right people. Ladies and gentlemen, that's kind of our job around here, and it's in service of a good cause. Let's begin with what we know about Jeffrey Epstein and the federal government. We know that Epstein belonged to Intel, that he was working with the FBI and the CIA. They was working, no doubt, with other clandestine intel agencies across the world, probably Mossad, and that those intel agencies colluded to not only hide all of the evidence of these misdeeds, because they were probably funding the largest pedo ring in the world, but also to kill Jeffrey Epstein. That's why you haven't seen any of the evidence. They don't want you to see the evidence, yet they have the evidence because we have photos like this of Jeffrey Epstein's home in New York, a mansion on the Upper West Side, where he had bags of diamonds and manila envelopes filled with a lot of different passports. To which nations? I don't know. That'd be interesting to find out. Here's cases of CDs. Here's a bunch of hard drives. What are in all the other mysterious boxes? What about all of these CDs and tapes and recordings? What about this box marked evidence? And according to the special agent in charge of the FBI in the Southern District of New York, they did not put the evidence labels on there. Jeffrey Epstein put the evidence labels on these hard drives. What's on those hard drives? Well, now we know, because we've been asking all the right questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we know, as a matter of fact, that there are mountains of terabytes of data and evidence from Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, most likely implicating some of the most powerful people on Earth. That evidence has been carted off by the feds. This is drone footage of Jeffrey Epstein's home on Little St. James in the Bahamas. This drone footage shows federal agents carrying boxes and boxes and boxes of evidence out of his house. You'll see here, very interestingly, let me pause and we'll zoom in, shall we? You can see an entire rack and stack there, a computer tower, multiple monitors that the feds are hoovering up. Then at the end of the video, you can see something quite instructive and a bit of a metaphor here. The feds begin to block out the windows so that the drone can no longer get its footage. Really, truly, an apt metaphor for what the feds have been doing to Jeffrey Epstein ever since his death, protecting him and protecting those who were involved with him. And it doesn't make any sense to us. It's why we've been asking questions like, for instance, asking James Comer. Yesterday, James Comer is in charge of government accountability and oversight in the House. He's a very powerful member of Congress. James Comer, where the hell are the Epstein files? Listen to what he had to say.
I hope James has the Epstein files, because I don't think the Department of Justice has them.
He's talking about James OKeefe. I just want to iterate here. He's talking about potentially James OKeefe having the Epstein files. We'll get to that in just a second.
Or at least the Attorney General does not have them, or she would have turned them over. The President ordered them released. The Attorney General ordered them released. We all know they have not been released. And one of my biggest fears that I had, and I expressed this with Kash Patel and a lot of people, Stephen Miller, and a lot of people going into the new administration. I'm like, I hope they're not shredding documents right now. This was a few weeks before the transition. I said, I hope they're not shredding documents, but you all need to go on that first day and try to get all this stuff released, because, my fear is from what I've dealt with in investigations and in communication with this deep state apparatus, is they're probably in there shredding documents as we speak. So hopefully someone has a copy of that. And I hope we find out, because our task force has done everything, led by Anna Paulina Luna. You had her on your show many times. I mean, she's relentless. She's persistent. She's pretty frustrated right now that these files haven't been released, even though the President and the Attorney General have ordered them released.
So, James Comer saying that he believes that those files have disappeared and disappeared forever. Now, we started this whole process by asking Pam Bondi about the files. We were the first people to ask Pam Bondi, freshly minted out of the Senate and confirmed. And Pam Bondi said that those files are sitting on her desk, that he would be releasing them. This interview took place 3.5 months ago, and we still await. You can't blame James Comer or other whistleblowers who have been on our program saying that the files have been deleted, gotten rid of forever. This is Garrett O'Boyle. He's an FBI whistleblower, And he said that the files are gone.
To destroy files on these servers. And I was told that once these files are destroyed, the way they are set up, that even Elon Musk could not restore them.
So this is the kind of stuff that has made a lot of news, and it's countervailing with what the government has or hasn't delivered to us. We know that the government has an extraordinary, voluminous amount of evidence from Jeffrey Epstein that has never been released. We have the photos of it here. We have the videos of them collecting it, and they refuse to release it. And now multiple people, from an FBI whistleblower to James Comer, have said that it's been destroyed. What does Pam Bondi have to say? Well, Pam Bondi was asked about our reporting this morning outside of the White House. Pam Bondi was asked about James Comer specifically materially representing that she doesn't have the files. And something remarkable happened. Here we go.
No, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement, but I'll call him later and find out.
I'll call James Comer later and find out. So one, thank you as a subscriber to this channel for keeping the pressure up. You've helped us facilitate this news cycle. Two, have you ever heard any law enforcement official in the federal government speak like this about Jeffrey Epstein? Oh yeah, he had voluminous thousands of hours of tapes of child pornography. These victims have been caught on camera. Have you ever heard them say this? This is massive news. We've never heard it described like this. This is what we assumed was happening. This is what the victims said was happening, but nobody in law enforcement has ever detailed this for us. So this is particularly important. Who are on those tapes? Well, of course, Bill Clinton's on those tapes. Of course, Hollywood celebrities, actors, musicians, world leaders, feds, royal family, and intel agents are on those tapes. Who knows who's on those tapes? We know who Jeffrey Epstein was palling around with. So it'll lead to the end of many careers, I suppose, if you were to release those tapes. Who's on there? Just that alone was worth the ask. That juice was worth the squeeze. There's more, ladies and gentlemen. If you read the tea leaves, you can look through and see that Dan Bongino posting just this morning about a task force where the FBI and the DOJ have been surging operations to take down child predators. And they've caught hundreds of them. Dan Bongino says something remarkable this morning. He says, you may not always see it immediately, but this is the kind of work that's happening in the background. Our teams are quietly targeting and arresting 200 child sex predators. There will be more. Here's what gets interesting. Bongino says, if you harm a kid in America, this FBI will make sure that you know no peace. You will be hunted. You'll be caught. You'll be arrested. Is that a dark message to Epstein? Is that a message to the people who were predators on Epstein Island? Sure as hell looks like it to me. How can you possibly read this any other way? Thank you for all who worked hard to make this happen. You saved lives, and we're going to do more. We're going to do more. If you harmed a kid in America, you won't know peace. Well, most of the harm of children in the Epstein circles happened in New Mexico and happened in New York and other places, but it didn't happen in some clandestine operation offshore. It happened here domestically. So it's like Dan Bongino is making a threat here to the Epstein pedos. Good. Now, what happens next? Was some of this facilitated over the fact that James O'Keefe has been very much on a rampage after the killing of Virginia Roberts? Virginia Roberts was the most well-known Epstein victim who was sex trafficked by Epstein to the royal family, among many others, and even got a payout of multi-millions of pounds from the royal family because of what happened. Virginia Roberts said she's not suicidal, and then she gets suicided. Her father has said that she was suicided. Her lawyer has said that she was suicided. Virginia Roberts is a living witness to what happened with Epstein. So while they may be able to delete things on a server, you can't delete a person, or can you? James O'Keefe says it's time for citizen journalists to release more on Epstein They're going to kill us. They better kill us all, coming soon. Well, James followed that up by saying that he's not suicidal in a video.
I'm going dark. I'm not suicidal. Pray for me. This one scares me, guys.
Saying this one scares me, and then releasing this video as a stinger to his brand new operation. Investigative series. What does this video include in it? Epstein, actually. And Pam Bondi.
They can't suicide us all.
So here you have Epstein walking with Prince Andrew. This is obviously a throwback directly to Virginia Roberts. Then you have more Epstein. Here you have Prince Andrew peeking out from behind a door, waving. We believe this to be Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan mansion that was wired by the feds, that had all of the evidence in it. This was the mansion that had all of the evidence that the feds refused to show you. And that leaves us to wonder, is Pam Bondi speaking like this, and are the federal agents speaking like this and making these actions because they know what James OKeefe is about to release? If you look at James O'Keefe's video, which you'll see here, are clearly deposition. You ever been part of a deposition? These are deposition swearing-ins. This is what's going on. Someone's being sworn in to be deposed. Could this be the Epstein depositions? Did James get his hands on the Epstein depositions? And here's a frame with what absolutely looks like Pam Bondi. And I don't know. I haven't confirmed that, but it sure as hell looks like her. What's going on here? This is a wild, wild revelation. We were part of it. We're proud to be building this case with James and so many others that have asked the right questions here. And we look forward to the answers. The reason why it's important is because it proves that your federal government was engaged in and funding and allowing the darkest, most evil sins and crimes in history to happen right here on our shores. And the feds did nothing about it. The exposing of this is going to rip the spine out of the deep state. We hope and pray. And pray for James. It's Boy Banning. Like, share, and subscribe.